If you've been following me for the long haul and you're familiar with products that I love and am loyal to, that is something about me, is when I love a product, I'm loyal to it. Well, I have been using the Smashbox step-by-step contour kit. This is a brand new one here, for years. 4 years. And this is the palette that I am currently using. Well, I heard that there was a drugstore dupe by Physicians Formula. It's the Butter Bronzer Contour Palette. And I heard this was a dupe and I thought I would give it a try. And I talked about this in a recent purchases video, probably a couple of months ago. I shared this and a dialogue took place, I don't know where, about me testing this product out, this palette, and comparing it to my Smashbox palette, considering it's a dupe. Well, today I do that for you. So I have not used this palette prior to today, and this is the palette that I used. So here's the final makeup look of the day. Okay, so if you watch my videos, I don't know if you'll see anything different with my contour and bronzing and highlighting, but I put it to the test today. The other thing is, back in July, and I actually saved this comment, Kelly asked if, let's read it, if I would do a video on how I use this palette. Well, Kelly, thank you for that. I literally held on to that and I kept that request in my future videos document. So believe me, when you make a request for a video, I do document that if it's something that interests me in doing. I have to stay true to me as well. So I didn't really honor what Kelly's request was by doing a tutorial of me using this palette, but in some way I did. I kind of killed two birds with one stone. Not that I kill any birds with stones, but you get me, because I basically walk you through today what a full-blown contour, bronze, and highlight application would look like for me. And I share in my tutorial that I am not saying anyone needs to do all these steps. In fact, most people probably wouldn't, but I wanted to show you all of the areas that I would contour, bronze, and highlight if I were doing a full-blown makeup application. Let's say to go out for the evening. Well, we know I don't go out in the evening. Afternoon. I was going to attend an event or a wedding and I was doing the full gamut. Now I will share that because of filming on the days that I apply makeup, I usually do the whole shebang. I do it all. I do a full face of makeup because it's for filming. I'm filming on that day. Now, if I'm traveling and I wear makeup every single day, I don't necessarily do all the steps that I would show you today because I'm not filming. So please understand that if anyone is like, oh my gosh, this is so much. Yes, it is. That's why I only apply makeup 2 days per week because it is a lot. So I wanted to make sure I shared that. So a couple of different things. I did pick this up, but again, I've held on to it for a couple of months and I didn't try it until today. I will start out by saying I was very pleased with this. So if you are looking to save a little money and you are looking for an all-in-one palette, I think that's another thing that I've always loved about my Smashbox step-by-step contour palette is I use everything in this palette. I'm sure you can relate that it's not uncommon to have a palette of some sort and you don't use everything in it, right? We don't use everything in the palette. There's going to be pans that never get hit. That is typical. So when you can find a palette that you use all of the products in, that is fantastic. Now, clearly, I use more contour than I do highlight and bronze. So that's the only downside. Rarely are we literally going to use every single product the same amount, right? So that's one of the downsides, but I continue to always repurchase this, and I always have one in the can. So here's a brand new one, and often I will have an additional one in some type of makeup case that I can throw in my car when I get on the road, because I like to look at my makeup in natural light, and it's not uncommon for me to add a little bit of bronzer, or not usually contour, but bronzer and blush when I get in natural light. So believe it or not, that's a typical day for me. So I must be a little bit lighter handed than when I get in natural light. But let's unbox this and I'll show you this. So again, there's 3 shades. There's a contour, bronze, and highlight. And when you pull it out, you will get a little pamphlet that really, I've never even used this, but it will literally walk you through how to contour, bronze, and highlight according to your face shape. Now, I am rectangular. So, and as I'm looking at this, yeah, I would say I do that. So it's very important when it comes to contouring that you contour according to your face shape. You don't watch someone on YouTube and then that's what you do, because they could have a completely different shaped face. I have a very long rectangular face. So I want to shorten my face, although I don't have a tall or long forehead. I'm actually quite short. My length that creates me to have this long face is more through this section, not my forehead. For some people, they could have a high forehead. Okay, so they're going to use more product up here, or someone may be longer down here. Another lady may have a round face. So you really do want to know your face shape, what you're starting with before you start the process. That's one of the hard things with watching influencers is people want to do what they're doing, but that may not serve you. It's the same with fashion. Then we pull out the palette, and as you can see, it's a brand new palette. Again, I always keep one in the can. And then you always get this little brush, and I do use this brush. I keep one of these on the road with me. So this actually will go in my handbag, and that will just be to touch up any fallout. If you ever get fallout, I often keep a little bit of a highlighter on there. So keeping something like this just kind of on there. So if you needed to touch up or do any highlighting, you could. Okay, so that's a perfect brush to have on hand. And I also like to have them, well, look at, here's a couple right here. Look at that. I have a couple, and then I have one over here. One in my handbag because I always keep these. They're also great to give to your little granddaughters. I think Junie has one that she can play with. So that is what your kit would look like. Now let me share with you that this kit right here though is $40. Now it lasts a long time, but it is $40. And again, not all the products get used up at the same time. What do I do when I finish up the contour part, which is going to be used up the quickest? Well, I still use these. I feel like a lot of times I never end up using this one, but once the bronzer is gone, I will just a lot of times pitch this because I'll never use up one of these. But I will save this, although I do have to break into a new one. That is the unfortunate. I really wish that Smashbox would have sold these little palettes individually so you could pop one in. And certainly I could pop a new one in here from this palette, but I wish you could just buy just one and refill it. I love when that is an option. $40 though, compared to Physicians Formula. Let's see. I actually bought this on July 23rd. I saved my receipt and I paid $13.99 for it. I did not get it on sale. So we have basically $14 compared to $40, and this is supposed to be a dupe. I will share with you that I was very pleased with the application. I was very pleased with the color. So I can honestly say, I was impressed. I would say that the highlighter is not as pigmented, and I would say all of these lean a little bit warmer than the Smashbox does. But let's jump into the tutorial of me applying this in all of the steps, and I will walk you through the pros and cons. So let's take a look. Okay, a couple of things that doesn't necessarily make today ideal. Number one, I kind of have snifflies going on, so I apologize if I'm sniffling at all. And I will not blow my nose. Once makeup is applied, I just will not blow my nose. It is just a policy I have because it will remove makeup. And we have our Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer Contour Palette, brand spanking new. And you can see it has not been broken into. The other thing too is it's interesting, my lighting. I do my makeup with different lighting. I do some of my makeup in the complete dark. Basically, up to this point, my entire room is pitch black except for my makeup mirrors. And I will have both of the makeup mirrors that I use linked. So now then when I get to this step, so let me just share where I'm at. I have done my lashes. I have done my primer, foundation, powder. I will have those. I will have all the products I've used linked in the description box. So those are the steps that get done before I do my bronzer. Oh, I don't know if I did. I don't think I did my under eye setting powder. Let's set that real quick. And again, I will link everything, but let's set that. I don't think I did that yet because we want to make sure everything is set. No, maybe I did. Now that I think of it, I think I did. Okay, well, we just got another layer. So this will be my first time trying the Physicians Formula, and I will just basically run you through what a full contour and bronzing application would be for me. Some of you watching may think, wow, this is too many steps. What I encourage you to do is pick and choose what you contour, because we shouldn't all contour and bronze the same. We're not working from the same face. But if I'm doing a full face of makeup, meaning this would be, well, filming makeup, if I had to attend an event or a wedding where I'm doing all the steps, we're going to do all of those steps today so that I can share with you in case you do that step. For example, you may not ever contour your nose. I don't always, but if I'm doing a full face of makeup, I would, and I want to show you every single step. So we are going to start with the contour shade, and we're going to start with my nose, and there's nothing to link here. This is actually a brush that came in a blush, and I just kept it and I use it for my nose. So we're going to get some product on. So I don't even know how pigmented this stuff is going to be. Who knows what my makeup's going to look like today. But let's just, and let me just share that I have my Hollywood makeup mirror in front of me right now, but I don't have it on. So I don't have my lights on in my filming room right now where I'm doing my makeup, and I always do my makeup. I am using my filming lights. So I have two lights angling at me and everything else is off. That's how I prefer to do That's the lighting that I prefer when I am doing my contour. Okay, I also go down here because my nose is not symmetric. So I always go down and do this step. Okay, very happy with that. Now I do like to take this little brush, and I don't even think this is available, just to kind of make sure I've blended it. So you just want like a wispy brush, just to kind of make sure you've blended that well. Okay, very happy with that. Very, very happy. Okay, now we're taking my NARS Ita brush. I don't know if this is still available. Everything is so old for me. We're going into that same contour, and we are going to apply. This is a more powdery. It does kind of make a little bit more mess, I feel like, but I do like that look. And now I like to kind of just get my contour area, my cheekbones started to kind of shape my face. So I look for where the shadow is. I can literally look in my mirror and I can see that I have shadow here. That is where we are going to apply this. And then I just take if there's any remnant and it goes up here. And we'll add some to that area. Make sure you're tapping off your brush. I definitely feel like this is powdery. So we're just going to apply it up at the top here. I don't have a high forehead. Make sure you are looking at the shape of your face and you are contouring for your face shape. I'm very angular, so we want to create some roundness. So I kind of go to create that roundness. You will see that my hair has a lot of gray. I actually go tomorrow to get the gray covered. Okay, so we're starting to take the angles. I want to soften the angles of my face, still using that same brush. Wow, this is definitely powdery. Definitely way more powdery. That part I don't know if I like. And then the same thing here. Because I have a straw jawline, I want to soften that. And I always start with the chin. I'm pretty squared off here. I want to soften all of this. And I start with the chin area, moving my way up the jawline. And then you want to make sure you carry this underneath. Just down here. I don't carry it down, just the part where you should be shadowed, okay? Where you should be shadowed. So far, I am liking the color and the application. What I'm not liking is how powdery it is. That's one thing. So you have to be careful because you can get too much product on for sure. And I would say this is probably a little bit warmer than this shade that I contour with. So I would say right now, I'm more of a fan of my Smashbox based on kind of the messiness. Also because I do pack my contour. I pack this on the road. I don't pack it in my handbag. I take it in my car because that way when I get out in natural light, like I'm literally taking my next brush and I'm picking up some of this residue because it's very powdery. So I wouldn't want this to be in my car. See, it's just yeah, I don't like that part. Nope, not loving that part. Okay, I take this small brush because I have small features. And now we're working on that cheekbone and we're going to carry it up. Your brush size should accommodate your face shape, and if you have small features. If you have small eyes, you use smaller brushes. If you have smaller features, smaller brushes. And then what I do is I take a little bit bigger brush just to make sure we blended that. Another brush that I love, this is by Gentry Kelly. This is a really great sculpting brush. Sometimes I will use this as well. So let's take that in that color. Oh, it's just such a messy product though. You want to make sure with this brush, you get the whole, because it goes in the center, you want to make sure you get product on all of it. And then this is perfect because where it dents in is right where your cheekbone is. And this is great for carrying it up like this. And then I just kind of take the extra and we just kind of go here. Yeah, so I am liking this. Again, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't recommend it if it's a savings. I would say it's just a little bit warmer shade, which is fine. I mean, that's okay. I think it looks really good. I like it. I don't have any complaints except how powdery it is. So I think it would be great as long as you're not taking it anywhere with you, because it can be kind of messy. But really, essentially, that's pretty much it for that. Now we have the bronzer shade. Okay, so we've done all of our contour. This I just kind of take and I just, oh, wow, okay. All right, get that blended in. Hoo-wee. Yeah, I think because it's so powdery, I probably needed to brush it off more. I just kind of do the sides right here. And then you can maybe add a little warmth here. Again, you're not going to do all these steps probably, but I don't want to miss anything. And it is taking me longer because I'm using a brand new product for the first time. So sorry for that, but it is what it is. Okay, now I want to use the highlighter. Where's my highlight brush? Here it is. This is the e.l.f. small stippling brush. And we're going to go into the highlighter shade, which is right here. And no idea what I'm going to get. I kind of go here and I kind of do a triangular motion, like a point down. And then I take it right here, a little right there, and then just kind of brush the tip of the nose. Yeah, okay. I like it. Turned out okay. Maybe I feel like it's a little darker and more enhanced than typical, just because you know how it is when you first use a new product, you're kind of acclimating to it. So I do feel it may look a little bit bolder. Let me get some extra light going on, see how it looks here. I still think my Smashbox is better. I like it better, but worth trying. Okay, there you go. That's Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer Contour Palette compared to my Holy Grail, the Smashbox Step-by-Step Contour Palette. And I'm probably more of a fan of this one. I also like the contour shade a little bit better once it's applied, but I think this is a home run too. But this would be my preference for sure, but I would still recommend this to the right person. So give it a try. Let me know what your thoughts are. Well, there you go. My thoughts on the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer Contour Palette compared to my Smashbox. I really don't have a problem spending the $40, so I see myself continuing, but will I use this up? We'll just see. I will use it. I will definitely use it. I may also ask any of my daughters if they're looking for a palette, or maybe my granddaughter Kaylee, who is a sophomore in high school. If anyone is interested, and maybe I'll pass it on to them. I don't mind. I love helping out We'll just see, but for right now, I'm keeping it. I can't return it. It's past the return date. Also, before I leave you today, it is the last day to register for the live beauty event that I am hosting tomorrow, the Ageless Beauty Blueprint. This is going to be a great time tomorrow morning, live on Zoom. As usual, the class will be recorded if you cannot attend, but we are unpacking a lot. We are talking skincare products, my favorite active ingredients. We'll touch on makeup if you'd like, because you get to share with me any additional things you would like to hit on. We're talking about starting a great skincare routine early and all the way to whatever age. So this class is for any age, any stage, any season. Again, skincare, supplements that honor what your goals are when it comes to anti-aging, to ageless beauty, to looking as young as you feel, right? So we are going to age, but we want to look as young as we may feel, unless you feel older than you are. You just never know. But I am going to share supplements that I'm a fan of, skincare ingredients that I'm a fan of, what I've done in the past as far as treatments and procedures in office, what I've done in the past, what I found to serve me, what I found really didn't offer an ROI, return on my investment, what's on my radar moving forward. Am I ever going to do a facelift? What are my thoughts? We are going to unpack a lot. You will get an entire printable packet with all the things that we are covering, where I talk about supplements in depth and what they target. Same with skincare. It's really all the things. It encompasses everything. So join me tomorrow live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please check your time zone, and don't forget that the class will be recorded. If you cannot attend the live, you will have the recording sent to you. And even if you do attend the live, you get the recording as well, and you can keep that forever to refer back to. So would love to have you. There's a link in the description box below this video where you can get more information and register. And then anything that I shared with you today, those links will also be in the description box below, as well as on the corresponding blog post, which is always your top link and the best place to shop from. And often I will include images. So I will make sure to have images of everything that I shared with you today on the blog post to help with your shopping needs. Let me know what you thought of this video and what your favorite contour, bronze, and highlight is. And yeah, thanks for being here, and I hope to see you tomorrow in the live. Have a good one.